Good afternoon and welcome to the Omni Coalition News Show, aka TOCNS. This show is an amalgam of strange, weird, bizarre, off-the-wall, and otherwise things you don't normally see anymore from most news sources these days. During a time of political overabundance and divisiveness, we present you with more unifying topics to discuss for the most part. For links to those articles, the music done by Carrera, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar of the description below. Anyway, I am Aoxander, and I am joined by the Dude and Hot Dog. Anyway, today is Thursday, also known as Thursday, November 17th, 2022. So let's jump into the news today, shall we? Coming from Sandbad English, Berlin, go away. Berlin's 2021 state election declared void. Good. The 2021 state election in Berlin was declared void by the city-state's top court due to election day glitches. Accordingly, the entire election must be completely rerun. Holy crap. Well, good. At least they're doing what we should supposed to be doing. In view of the large number and seriousness of the electoral irregularities, a more selective repetition of elections in individual constituencies would not be suitable for establishing a constitutional state of affairs, quote-unquote, the Constitutional Court of the State of Berlin said in a statement on Wednesday. Mistakes during the preparation of the elections had led to time delays and long queues at many voting stations, and this resulted in votes being cast long after the polls closed. When initial projections were already available, Xinhua news agency quoted the court as saying. So that's good that they're going back and they're retrying the whole thing. As I said earlier, we should be doing that with something that happened in 2020, but that'll never happen. And we should be doing that with what just recently happened in Arizona, but that'll never happen. So, anyway, moving on up here from Rebel News, Nancy Pelosi is out of the running, will not seek re-election as House Democrat leader. Yes, yes, yes. All right, I fully support this. And here's something interesting, and I don't think that people will do this, but I'll say this really sneaky weaky way that we can get somebody back in office. But first, I'm going to read here: U.S. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi will not be seeking re-election for her roles as the leader of the House Democrats nearly 20 years since she first took on the role. Her move comes following the Republicans' slim victory in the House. Quote, with great confidence in our caucus, I will not seek why can't I read today? I will not seek re-election to Democratic leadership in the next Congress, end quote, said Pelosi. More quote, for me, the hour has come for a new generation to lead the Democratic caucus, so I deeply respect, and I'm grateful that so many are ready and willing to shoulder this awesome responsibility, end quote. So, as I was saying, goodbye, you will not be missed, Pelosi. I'm going to have to edit this. But yeah, anyway, what I'm saying is the Speaker of the House does not have to be a member of the House. So you can just bring in, to my knowledge, any Joe Schmo, you, me, Hot Dog, the Dude, whatever. I think, though, they have to be a U.S. citizen, so I think there's that. But, sorry, I'm out of breath. I had to run back up the stairs. So they can do some shenanigans here. They can put in Trump as the Speaker of the House, impeach Biden, impeach Harris, and guess who's back? Third in line. There we go. That's some shenanigans stuff that they honestly should do. I'm no Trump supporter, but anything that can be done to piss these people off, makes me happy. Anyway, moving on up here, more from Rebel News. Investigating Chinese police stations operating on Canadian soil. Our quest to get information Chinese police stations operating in Canada lead us to the Chinese consulate in Toronto. We were told to leave or the police would be called. Which police force? Domestic or Beijing-based? Yeah, they have actual, operating polices in other nations, including Canada. A lot in Central and South America. It's horrifying. They're everywhere. Pop music fans might recall, let's see here. Arlene! Welcome to the show! Pop music fans might recall an English band back in the 1980s called China Crisis. We're not sure why they chose such a moniker, but it would seem like Canada is experiencing a real-life China crisis in 2022. For starters, for some inexplicable reason, there are reports of Chinese police stations operating in Canada, 3 of these being in the Greater Toronto Area. How is this even possible, and what exactly are these Chinese police doing here? Going back to the summertime, we repeatedly reached out to CSIS and the RCMP, but our calls and emails were not returned, so we decided to visit a Toronto RCMP detachment back in December. We did not get any answers, but we were given the promise that somebody in the media relations department of the RCMP would contact us. So I'll leave the rest for you viewers to read. Link is in the underbar right now, the description. But yeah, this is seriously concerning that there are Chinese police enforcing Chinese laws on non-Chinese soil. You know, and then now, all this stuff with TikTok coming out, I knew since the start that China owned TikTok. One way or another. They don't actually own it directly, but through all the subsidiaries, which they control the whole thing like a tentacle. You gotta get off of that TikTok, guys. Seriously. Anyway, moving on up here, more from Rebel News. San Francisco launches a guaranteed income program for transgender people. Great. Now they're literally saying, hey, we'll pay you to be transgender. With taxpayer-funded money, no or less. San Francisco has begun offering a monthly stipend exclusively for transgender residents of the city. On Wednesday, Mayor London Breed announced that the city would begin taking applications for the Guaranteed Income for Trans People Gift WOW program, which is exclusive to transgender and non-binary residents. The program will kick off in the transgender district, a neighborhood favored by the city's trans residents. It is the first legally recognized transgender district in the world. Under the program, which is launching in a limited capacity, 55 transgender residents will receive $1,200 a month for 18 months. The move is part of a broader effort to advance equity for the city's trans residents. Wow. I don't dislike these people, but where's my guaranteed income because of being straight? Where's my guaranteed income for being this or being that? I mean, don't you I'm not asking the people who are doing this, because they know damn well that this is nothing more than just more divisiveness. This is going to cause prejudices. This is going to cause disdain, hatred, and people are going to ask the very question I did. Oh, where's my guaranteed this because I'm that? So people got to wake up and start, seeing, why this stuff is being passed. It's not for the surface level, believe me. Anyway, moving on up from Audio Central here, motorcycle chariot racing, an exhilarating mix of Ben-Hur and Mad Max. Motorcycle chariot racing is a modern take on one of the most popular sports in ancient Greece, Rome, and the Byzantine Empire. We've featured our fair share of unusual sports here on Oddity Central, but motorcycle chariot racing is undoubtedly one of the most unique entries. Replacing the horses of old with some real horsepower in the form of 2 motorcycles, this unusual sport is making a comeback to the land down under. Hey, I know several people down there. Originally invented in the early 1900s in Australia, mate. Motorcycle chariot racing eventually spread to Europe and the USA before gradually being banned because of the danger to the riders. However, the adrenaline-fueled sport is currently making a comeback in Australia thanks to a professional stunt rider. I think we may have an Aussie in the audience, huh? One of you guys, somebody,
Yeah,
I think.
that's insane, bro.
I know. Dude, this is cool. I want to do this. Yeah. Anyway, as always, link is in the underbar for more reading. Go give these guys a foot traffic. But this is cool. I want a motorcycle chariot race. Anyway, moving on up from the Mirror. Royal Mail staff to strike for 6 days in December, sparking Christmas Eve postal chaos. Here we go. Royal Mail workers are set to strike for 6 days over Christmas, including on Christmas Eve, in a fresh round of industrial action that could spark chaos over the festive period. The strikes were announced this evening by the Communication Workers Union, CWU, which represents 115,000 postees who will now walk out. It comes as a result of long-running dispute over pay, jobs, and conditions. The strikes will come at a time when countless Brits will be getting in on their Christmas shopping in the run-up to the big day. Workers will walk out on December 9th, 11th, 14th, 15th, and 23rd, and on Christmas Eve as well. This is in addition to strikes already notified for November 24th, 25th, 30th, and December 1st. So, well, rip to those guys. Um, you know, we gotta stop being so reliant on deliveries and all that stuff. Stop making Amazon so powerful. Like, go support your local brick and mortar stores. Yeah, it's more expensive, but it's your community. You want your money to be in your community, not to go to circulate somewhere else, right? Like, you can have some mixes, but for the most part, you gotta take care of yourself. So, anyway, moving on up here, more from the Mirror. 1940s wartime photo shows proof time travel is real after man spotted with phone. Um, let's see, this guy right here. Oh, that's weird. It says here, there is nothing strange about spotting a smartly dressed chap chatting on a mobile phone while standing on a busy street corner. But what if that picture dated back to the 1940s? Some eagle-eyed history lovers think they might have spotted a man out of time in a photograph of Iceland taken during wartime. Taken in 1943 in Reykjavik, the country's capital, the image shows a crowd of locals and U.S. soldiers from the Second World War walking along a packed pavement. Let's just, as I was saying earlier, was that guy. Here's a zoom into that. I don't know, maybe he's just scratching his ear or something, talking to somebody. I'm not sure if I can see actually any device in his hand. And you don't hold your phone, you don't hold your phone like this, Like, at least I don't. Like, you want to hold, this is expensive. You want to, secure that, vice grip that thing. Don't crush it, but, nobody does it like this. It's too floppy. It'll fly away. Anyway, let's move on up here. More from the Mirror. Bronze Age village discovered by shocked builders, complete with pottery and 4 houses. I almost read that as horses. 4 horses. Uh-oh. Apocalypse. It says here, developers were working on the site of a former residential unit in Crosshaven, County Cork, which is being demolished to make way for new homes. Straight away, the contractors got in touch with Cork County Council, and the scene was shut off for excavations. The construction site is based near the Temple Bredy Church, and the area has been cordoned off, reports Cork BO. Cork BO understands that the settlement is from the later area of the Bronze Age, which is located above the village of Crosshaven on a high point overlooking Church Bay. So that's interesting. You never know what you're going to find when you dig into the ground. Like, there's always something. There's always going to be something. So, that's really cool. So now they're going to have to do archaeologically, which, sucks for the owners of the land. They can't, start making money off it. But hey, any type of archaeological find is far more valuable than any money lost, during time of non-construction and opening and actual money gathering of that, building's function. Anyway, more from the Mirror here, and this is I got this just for the Doom guy, the Slayer. Tom Brady sued over cryptocurrency collapse, which could cost an NFL legend millions. Good. NFL icon Tom Brady is being sued along with a number of other famous celebrities and sporting personalities over their promotion of failed cryptocurrency exchange FTX. The 7-time Super Bowl champion will join a number of celebrities after they were named as defendants in a class action lawsuit against the cryptocurrency firm. It is alleged by investors that their public status made them culpable for promoting the company's failed business model. Pardon me. So, last week, FTX filed for bankruptcy to end a disastrous few days for the previous third largest cryptocurrency exchange in the world when the week began. The company's CEO and founder, Sam Bankman-Fried, had resigned after the firm, which had lost billions, inquired regarding bankruptcy protection. So, dang. So, all this stuff just came down, and wow. So, I mean, that sucks for Tom Brady, but, maybe you should be going out there deflating footballs. Maybe you should be deflating inflation, as I say. Make Tom Brady the head of the IRS, and, he'll balance out, Biden, no problem. From UPI here, married couple boast a total of 98 body modifications. Yeah, piercings and all that stuff. God, you have, your whole entire eyebrows are, punctured. What do you do when you have to go through an airport? This is insane. Um, a married couple with a total of 98 body modifications earned a Guinness World Record for their collective number of piercings, microdermals, body implants, and other modifications. Guinness World Records said Gabriela Peralta, who is from Argentina, and Victor Hugo Peralta, originally from Uruguay, first earned the record for most body modifications as a married couple in 2014 when they had a total of 84. So they're just updating the records here. Yep. Let's move on here. Watch as a deer crashes through a New York nursing home. That doesn't sound good. So let's see here. Wow. So it's in the gym.
Whoa.
Bambi just wants to get ripped. But yeah. Like, anybody seen that video of the deer crashing into that, like, beauty salon and the lady just freaking out? What is the deer doing? Oh, it's fighting with the mirror. Huh.
Don't! There's a deer in here.
Yeah, wow. Anyway, yeah, link to this will be in the underbar if you want to watch the rest of this. Let's move on up here from UPI. Pilot hangs out window to retrieve passenger's forgotten phone. This passenger better, thank his lucky stars this pilot was that cool. An airline pilot and a California airport crew worked together to reunite a passenger with a phone left behind at the gate, and the window-reaching scene was caught on camera. Southwest Airlines posted a video to Facebook showing the captain of the flight hanging out of a cockpit window to retrieve the phone being passed to him by the jumping ground crew workers at Long Beach Airport. Hey, I've been there. Let's see here. Whoa, dude.
There you go, he's stalling.
Yes!
Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that passenger better thank that captain, better kiss his ass, seriously. And yeah, I know I've been talking a lot. If anybody wants to say anything, just say something. I'll stop talking. I won't talk over you. Okay, anyway, let's move on up here. From NPR, and this is, I don't know if it's good or bad, really. The largest dam demolition in history is approved for a California river. That's a pretty big dam there, but we need to start. We need to do something about our water crisis. U.S. regulators approved a plan Thursday to demolish 4 dams on the California River and open up hundreds of miles of salmon habitat. That would be the largest dam removal and river restoration project in the world when it goes forward. The Federal Emergency Regulatory Commission's unanimous vote on the Lower Klamath River dams is the last major regulatory hurdle and the biggest milestone for a $500. Yeah, it is important, Arlene. Like, it's, I'm very concerned, if this is going to be good or bad. That's why I said it at the beginning. I don't know if it's going to be good or bad. But yeah, the Federal Emergency Regulatory Commission's unanimous vote on the Lower Klamath River dams is the last major regulatory hurdle and the biggest milestone for a $500 million demolition proposal championed by Native American tribes and environmentalists for years. The project would return the lower half of California's second largest river to a free-flowing state for the first time in more than a century. Well, I think that's a plus. Native tribes that rely on the Klamath River and its salmon for their way of life may be the driving force behind bringing the dams down in a wild and remote area that spans the California and Oregon border. Barring any unforeseen complications, Oregon, California, and the entity formed to oversee this project will accept the license transfer and could begin dam removal as early as this summer, proponents said. So, let's see how this plays out. I do know that damming rivers, does cause, like water problems down the stream because you're removing the water. But let's see how this goes. And to our last but not least article here, more from NPR. Louisiana voters rejected an anti-slavery ballot measure. The reasons are complicated. What? Okay, let's see what's going on here in Louisiana. Out of 5 states that put measures to voters on the subject, Louisiana voters were the only ones to vote against banning slavery and involuntary servitude in the state constitution, according to calls by the Associated Press. 1, why is that already in the Constitution? And 2, why are they against this? This is really concerning. This year in Vermont, Oregon, Alabama, and Tennessee, voters decided to ban slavery and involuntary servitude. All right, good. Yeah, at least my home state has its head screwed on, right? The United States abolished slavery in 1865 with the 13th Amendment, but it makes an exception for slavery as punishment for crime. Many states followed suit with similar exception clauses to individual state constitutions. So now you can't just round somebody up and make them a slave. They have to commit a crime. But, in some states, I would be committing a crime. So would that make me an applicant for slavery? For, indentured servitude? Because of something like that? Um, yeah, that's a very concerning thing that's going on here. It says here in Colorado in 2018, voters approved a ballot measure to fully ban slavery, no exceptions in the state's constitution. Before that, only Rhode Island explicitly forbade the use of slavery and involuntary servitude nearly 200 years ago. Nebraska and Utah joined Colorado in 2020. Once this year's results are reflected in states' constitutions, 8 states will explicitly forbid slavery and involuntary servitude. Wow. Wow. So, that's oof. I gotta post this in the Discord right now. Yeah. Where's the news here? Cheese and crackers. Well, anyway, I dropped a bombshell on you at the end of the show, and that shall conclude the show. Once again, you can check the underbar of the description for any links you may be interested in, including but unlimited to all things Omni Coalition. This is my own personal YouTube. The Omni Coalition, our actual group, has its own YouTube. It has a Rumble, it has a BitChute. Go check them out. Go subscribe to those, because it is inevitable that YouTube will deplatform me. Anyway, for your dose of different on otherwise unknown news, we stream Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Pacific Time. I angled the camera wrong. There we go. For all of you and all of us, I am Xander, and in the live studio audience, I had Hot Dog, the Dude, and Welcome Muffins to the end of the show. So, anyway, until you catch us tomorrow, or if you're interested in history, you can check us out, at 10 in the morning Pacific Time every day, this date in history, TDH. Whenever you see us again, until then, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!